Hi, everybody. I wanted to share with you a really outstanding street art project post that I think could help you not only as you revise your street art project, but also as you work on revisions of your papers. So, this is Brian's analysis of what's called the Sandcastle Mansion in La Jolla Cove. First of all, it's just a great choice of an artifact because I've always been fascinated by that house, and I think it's really interesting. Um, I want to talk about how he has a clear focus sentence here. He says it is easy to see how it relates to the tension, he leaves out a word, between democratic idealism and material economic desire. The mansion shows the trend towards material desire that's been taking place in America. So he not only uses both terms, but he tells me specifically where the artifact falls on that spectrum. So even though the grammar isn't perfect, the idea is really strong and clear. It's that clarity about where the artifact falls that we need to see in the topic sentences for everything we're writing. And so I thought it was a cool example to share. The other thing that's really impressive about Brian's post or his analysis is the way that he works with a scholarly journal article that he found related to his ideas. And this is the step above working with simple web resources that distinguishes the exceptional post and, by the way, the exceptional paper from the very good one. And this is really nice. He introduces it nicely, and I want to scroll down and show you that he has a really nice works cited citation for it here, too, where he correctly identifies and then correctly talks about how it meets the standards. So notice when he says this periodical is considered to be of the highest academic standards because the articles are written and edited by academic scholars from all over the world. Each article provides extensive references of other scholarly works, etc. So not only is he doing a really cool job of bringing this source into the analysis, but he has a really strong works cited citation that explains to me not only that it meets the criteria, but why it meets the criteria or why it doesn't. While we're down here, let's take a look at another of his works cited citations. This one is where he uses a classic website. And again, I think he really does a nice job because he says this website does not meet the highest standards of an academic source. And then he tells it why. It lists no author or editor and it's not updated. But he still uses it because it has wonderful images that show what the interior and exterior of the mansion used to be like. This is pretty much a perfect evaluation of a website that doesn't meet professional academic standards of credibility, but is still useful. And he explains why it doesn't meet those criteria and why it's still useful. Awesome work, Brian. Brian also uses a Zillow site in a really creative way, too. And again, that's not a scholarly site, but he explains why he uses it. Finally, the last point I want to make about the use of his source here is notice how he integrates the discussion of his source into a sentence and properly cites it. And he does that with the Redmond source, where he cites and quotes where necessary. See how he uses quotes here? Remember, whenever we cite from a source, we want to quote any and all exact words. It's possible that there are more exact words in here than Brian's quoted, and that would be something that maybe we would look at if we were going to rewrite it. Are there any other phrases in here that are exactly Redmond's phrases? Because any exact words, even like two or three, need to be put into quotes. But I like how he puts the culture of consumption language in quote there. Notice how he also, when he uses material from the FurnitureFashion.com site, he has an in-text citation. I've been seeing a lot of you having cool sources in your work cited, but not putting citations, in-text citations in your paper when you analyze them. So I just want you all really to make sure you're using your resources as you do rewrites and as you prepare your final portfolio for the Saturday deadline. So again, remember, you've got this using and documenting and evaluating sources web lecture that you can link to from the home page of the course. You've also got the paper 1 lecture with the sample rubric and essay. And you really need to have these tools out in front of you. And now you have Brian's really cool post as another example of something you can go back to and look at for ideas. Brian's wasn't the only cool post, street art analysis. There were a lot of cool ones, but his did a few things that I really wanted to highlight with you, namely the integration of a higher level source, an academic source, into his discussion, and the proper use of in-text citations, and the really well developed works cited explanations. And you notice that these works cited evaluations, they don't have to be long. They just have to hit the mark. And his really do. They tell me why he used this site. They tell me what the strengths and limitations of the site, and they apply the criteria for evaluating resources by professional and academic standards. So thanks, Brian, for this great post, or I keep calling it post, but paragraph analyzing the Sandcastle House. And I hope this quick review was helpful for everyone. Bye.